Hi everyone, Servanov here. I wanted to make a quick little video about the mistakes in Godzilla vs. Biollante, and there are a few. I'm talking specifically about the English export version, which is the one that I aim to recreate in HD, the English on-screen text version of Godzilla vs. Biollante. Now, there are a few mistakes in the Japanese version as well, and I'll show you those, but most of the mistakes lie in the English version. Now, I'll show you some of them. One, missing punctuation, so 046. So for this, I'm going to use the Laserdisc copy. As you can see, this is the first alarm system, and it reads all that. Everything's spelled correctly, except there's a missing period at the end. Now, this would be okay, except if not at all the other ones, there's punctuation for the other alarm systems. Punctuation here for the third alarm system, and punctuation here. Now, here's the second mistake, and it's a spelling one. National Land Agency Special Disaster Research Council. I don't know what a Research Council is. I'm guessing that was supposed to be Research Council. So, alright, 17. Let's start at 1658. This is right after Miki spots Godzilla psychically. Now, you may not be able to see it very clearly here. I'll go into full screen and crop it a bit so you can see it better. So, if you'll notice, everything's good. They add a period here, so that's better. But the words are cut off a bit right here. So, like, physical is about halfway cut off. Sign, you can barely see the G. So at about G is where it starts to end. So that's another mistake that I thought was interesting. By the way, I'm keeping all of these mistakes in because it's just, you would have seen it on the Laserdisc, you would have seen it on the VHS, and if you were the head of Miramax or someone at Toho back in the 80s and were watching a 35mm work print, which it would have made, and even a master print that they would have used to transfer onto the Laserdiscs and VHS. If you were watching a 35mm print of Godzilla vs. Biollante, the English export version, would have had these mistakes too. All the versions of the English export, even the German Laserdiscs I'm gonna have to cut that one out. The German Laserdiscs that use this as a master for their releases, they have all of these mistakes as well. Now, I said that there were mistakes in the Japanese version, and there are. What is it? 45:28. So let's go. I have the rip here. 45 minutes, 28 seconds. Alright, so I'm going to go frame by frame. Alright, so it looks pretty normal, except, and this is specifically with a Blu-ray master, if you look way down there, you can see the matting of the frame, where there's the black bar at the bottom. If you look, it's right there. So what does this tell us? I'll tell you what it tells us. And this is something I did not know until recently, is that Godzilla vs. Biollante may have been shot open matte. Now, I don't know the degree to which it was shot open matte. Most of the times, like for this, it's shot in 1:85:1, which is the standard theatrical aspect ratio of the time. Nowadays it's a bit wider. Nowadays it's 235 or 239. But back in the 80s and early 90s, this was the standard, 1:85:1. And open matte movies were usually 4:3. Well, actually not 4:3. Open matte on VHS would have been 4:3. Most of the time, open matte movies are actually shot square. The Shining is shot square. Jurassic Park is shot square, which you'll actually see in the the 35mm scan that they actually did, that the fans did. Also, even our Godzilla 1985 open matte scenes on our 35mm print are in the square format. Obviously, it's not a perfect square, but it's pretty much a square. The only reason that I know that Godzilla vs. Biollante may have been open matte is because there are VHS copies, not English ones, and not of the Japanese version either, but of foreign releases like in France, or I don't know, some of those foreign countries that are not Japan and not the UK and not America. Those countries have VHS releases that are in the 1.66 to 1 aspect ratio, which is the standard at the time in the UK. Also, you can see where Godzilla's atomic breath or ray beams actually extend out of the black bars. So that's the reason why I say I don't know if it goes any further than 166 to 1. It may be open matte to just that level, or I don't know. That's all that we have, so I can't really say. So anyway, I just wanted to take a little bit of time to show you some of those interesting mistakes that can really reveal a bit of how the movies were made and how the English versions were made, and sort of the questions that come up on, am I going to include some of those mistakes in my EOST version? And yes, I am. Thank you guys very much for watching. Stay tuned for Godzilla vs. Biollante EOST HD Reconstruction. Stay tuned for that. Make sure to like and subscribe. Give a comment if you have any questions or comments. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.